Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Thursday morning? Hope you all are doing as well as I am. If you are doing any better, you'd be two people. You have a twin. Good morning, Mr. Dirk Diggler and Mr. Ed Durbin. Hope you gentlemen are doing well this morning. Fantastically average. Well, that's a good place to be. As long as you're not down, average is always good. Looks like we're starting off slow this morning, Mr. Ed. Might just be me and you talking about knives. Oh, no, there's Mr. Mister. He popped in. Yeah, I wish I had a clone so I could get more done. I need some help or a day off, one of the two. It's working 7 days a week crap sucks. So, let me see here. Let me move some water cups out of the way. Alrighty. So last night, in my front pocket, I carried my Viper Knives Odino. This is a Jesper Voxnays design. A little chunky thing. I like it. It doesn't have the greatest of action because it does not have a lock bar insert. So therefore, in order to have good detent, it's got to have too much pressure on the lock bar. But I like it still. I got to wash this mat off. Been doing a lot of mods on this thing, or change mats. And then in my back pocket, I have my Bridgeport 395, which is another knife I love. This one just got style, and it definitely has good action. Perfect detent, perfect drop, perfect feel. No jimping. You can't front flip it. But I like the stonewashed blade on it as well. So yeah, that's what was in my pocket last night. Get that out of the way. What are y'all carrying today? What's in y'all's pockets? What's in your wallet? Uh-oh. You know, I should mute the mic when Yeah, I should definitely mute the mic whenever I'm packing my cigarettes. Probably annoying. So, I received a few things in the mailbox yesterday. I'm not seeing what y'all are carrying today, so I will move on. Yeah, Ed's carry last night is in the Discord. That is true. But I figured he might could tell us also. Morning, Mr. Clint. How are you this morning, sir? Ed does a pretty good job with the pocket check. He was carrying, it looks like maybe a Tucson? Oh, nope, I was wrong. Not a Tucson, a Y-Start. But close enough. That thing looks super comfortable. That finger choil looks mighty nice. Do like the way that looks. Mr. TC was using his lion steel to eat steak last night. Mr. Ed also carried his hot pink knife along with the Y-Start David Chin design. I carried those two, like I said. And then Mr. Nick T is carrying his two of his favorites that he carries a lot. Yeah, that Y-Start does look very comfortable, sir. I like that finger choil there. Did it have... Why does it have 2 extra holes? Huh. That's interesting. Let me show y'all a few things I got in the mail yesterday. Let's see, where do we start with the mail grab? We'll start by putting that up there. Putting that over there. We will start with one of the leather carrying pouches that I ordered that I can show y'all. And it is this one. Good morning, Tommy. So this one is one of the ones I bought. And I bought this one because it has a clip and a belt loop, or you can put the belt through the clip and the belt. The clip and the belt loop. It has room for a nice place for your multi-tool or Leatherman, a place for a pen, and a place for a flashlight, or something else I found out is if you don't want to carry your flashlight, you can use this slot for a knife, even up to as big and chunky as this one is. Your knife will go in there either way, that way or with the clip sticking out, like so. So that is a cool leather pouch. I did not have any of these for my Leatherman. And like I said, I wanted one that I could clip on inside my pocket if I wanted to, or I could put on my belt. So that one serves that function. That'll come in handy. I'm quite sure I won't have a knife in it, but some people could. And like I said, this is a pretty thick knife. So you could get just about any knife in here, but these size flashlights go in here nicely. That was cool. Mr. Mister said he just took off all his EDC gear. Shortcut all night. Mini SOCP. Tyrant V3. The Rainier Fast Pack. Bunch of other crap. Pry bar, pliers, pin, and much more. Whoops, I forgot to turn off my phone. So let me do that as we speak. So that was one of my mailbox deliveries. Before we get to the other mailbox deliveries, I carried 3 other knives to work to shoot shorts with. And they were the Lemifshi F10 in S35 VN blade steel. This is one of his models with real blade steel. So I carried that one. I also took my Rockstead Hygo 2 with the mirror polished blade. So that is my Rockstead clone, of course. The Hygo. He go. I go, you go, we go. And then since I took that Rockstead, I thought I would take my other Rockstead, which is the Heisen. And it does not have a mirror polished blade, but it is the Heisen. This one has buttery smooth action too. So I carried those to shoot some videos of. Then in the mailbox, I got a few things. Let's see. We'll start off with this one because I was excited about this one. This is a clone. And this is the titanium bodacious clone that they just released not long ago. And this one came with a deep carry titanium clip already installed. And I will tell you what, man, the action and the feel of this thing is superb. It feels so good. The lockup, I mean, zero blade play. The action is buttery smooth. The fact that it's titanium and came with this deep carry titanium clip, all for the price that it came in at. The jimping feels great on the back here. The choil, super comfortable. I like that the bodacious blade comes all the way down here to the end, unlike the Shaman. So yeah, I'm really happy with this one. So I was looking forward to checking it out, and it did not disappoint. I believe they're around 40 something bucks, maybe 50 bucks, but for a titanium bodacious with this good a quality of lockup and action, and the extra clip that you could take off and put on anything else that you have Spyderco. Yeah, great deal there. Might as well keep it out of the box. Then I had, let's see, got a couple more that I got out of the mailbox. Y'all go ahead and drop a like, please, for that algorithm. Let's see, what else we got here?
Freakazoids, robots, please report to the dance floor. Freakazoids, robots, please report to the dance floor. Z-O-I-D-S.
Sorry, had a little flashback from the 80s. So yeah, I got a couple more things. I'm trying to figure out which one to save for last, because they're both nice. One of them's nicer than the other, but one of them's newer than the other. Good morning, Sever. I'm glad you got here by the time I decided to show this one, because your comment made me think about this knife and made me realize that you were right. But this is the Good Screw Neutron Star. Super cool packaging. It's got the box folds open like this, and then you open it up like this, and it's like, ah. Anyway, there we go. Let's put this back, fold that back, fold that back. Put this back in here. Super cool little box. But this is the Neutron Star. And I believe this one was probably OEM'd by Riot. And the reason I say that is because if y'all notice, it has absolutely 0 screws on the outside, just like the Riot Tiger did. And it has the same kind of connection thing as the Tiger does with that screw down there to hold the knife together. So I'm guessing it was OEM'd by Riot. Love this blade shape, love the hollow grind, but Sever said the ergos weren't good on this knife, and he's right. I don't know what it is about this. There's something about this middle hump here that makes it not as comfortable as it could be. It feels better if you put your finger up on here. It feels a lot better actually than down here. But something about the way the clip and these two things kind of fit together, the ergos aren't perfect on it. But man, what a beautiful knife. And it's got all the add-ons, the pivot collar, and the clip. Morning, Waylon. And the pivot collar on this side. That nice hand satin. Nice oily fingerprints. There's Ed with his so-called jokes. Yeah, it's got great action. Packaging was super nice. So that one came in the mail also. And then last but not least, so I had all this with me last night so far, except for this one. I didn't know this one was on my front porch till I got home this morning. I read that it showed it had been delivered, and I was like, delivered where? And it was on the front porch. So last but not least, I have my early bird special of the Voyage Blade Works. I was like, why does that box have Waylon's name on it? But it was the chat. So I did get my my Voyage Blade Works early bird kit. And that includes the badge, Kickstarter First Voyage Crew. Came with a pin, button, and a couple of stickers and a little card. Then it came with a titanium bead and a quote lanyard, which I attached to it already. But this is the Outland, made in the USA, D2. Morning, John. Aluminum handle, D2 blade steel. Came with this little titanium bead and this crazy cheap lanyard. And the crazy part is they put a little groove in the back of the metal here for a lanyard, but you have to take apart the scales to get the lanyard on. TC Blades, good morning, sir. But this is the Voyage Blade Works Outland that y'all saw me order on Kickstarter a while back. I guess I was one of the first 20 to order it. That's why I got my first Voyage Crew badge. I like it. It's heavy. It feels substantial. I like the jimping all the way down it. Something that's got to be fixed, and that it is a major flaw, is the sheath and the rattle. So when you put it in here, it shakes. Bad. Rattles bad, and I hate that. But I've already checked, and all you got to do is heat it up and push this down a little bit, with a heat gun, and it'll stop rattling. So all you gotta do is heat it up and throw a little clamp on here for a little while and let it cool down, and it'll be good as gold. But right now it does rattle. I could probably do that with a little torch. Yeah, I've got a little torch and I got a little clamp here. Let's see if we can fix that live on the stream. How about that? I don't want to catch my clamp on fire, but I think I should probably heat it up and then clamp it. So let's do that. Not going to heat it up much. I don't think it needs much. Do it that right there. Throw this clamp on here. Come on, clamp, get on there. Oh my goodness, now it's all cooled down, of course. Maybe I hit it one more time. Little heat. All right, we're gonna let that sit for a minute, see if that fixed the rattle. Yeah, a heat gun should work pretty good too, turned down on a low setting. So yeah, I got that, but so far this titanium bodacious, the action on it and the lockup and the deep carry clip and all that was a good buy. I like this thing. I wish the ergos felt a little better. I love the blade shape and I love the build quality. And then this was a surprise hit. I didn't realize how good everything would fit in it. This is that giant Leatherman that I've got, so it'll fit the very biggest ones, but you can tell how big that guy is. And I like how it's got the little bottom parts. You can push it up. If y'all have not seen these flashlights, they're awesome too. Somebody else in here has one, but it's called the Ace Beam TAC 2AA. And the cool thing about this one is it comes with one of those batteries. That's the new AA combined with the plug hole already in it. So it's got a USB-C plug hole in it, and it's a double AA combined all into one battery. So you can put two AA's in here, or you can use the one it came with and just charge that battery. So this little Ace Beam is super cool. It's also got the double trigger, so you can turn it on and off here, and then it's got the little button up here that you can leave it on, and it's got all kinds of cool modes. All the way to the left is the one I carried in my front pocket last night, John. That is the Viper Knives Odino. It is a Jesper Voxnays knife. It is a Odino from Viper Vox. It is N690CO. Big old lanyard hole. Very little chunky monkey of a knife. And if you were not here a minute ago, this leather thing I got will hold big knives over here in this side too, instead of a flashlight. So you could hold your Leatherman and a knife in there and a pin. Yeah, the Odino is a cool knife. I've got 3 of his Viper knives, Jesper Voxnays. He has this one. He has one called a Kyomi. And he has one called a Fortis. And they're all made by Viper. This is, like I said, this is the Odino. This is the Kiyomi, which is his knife also. It's got a real nice finger choil up there. But that is the Kiyomi, Kyomi. That is Viper, and that is Vox Nays. This one has CPM 20. Wait. Yeah, CPM 20. Huh. And then he's got the Fortis, which is a longer knife of his. Kind of the same. I like his style along with Laconico. Kind of just a plain style. This one has a little bit of that finger groove, but this one is a bigger knife, and it is M390 blade steel. So all three of them kind of favor each other. They have the same clips on these two, and the Odino has a little bit of a different clip. The Fortis, the Kiyomi, and the Odino. Good morning, Andrew. Let's see if that fixed this sheath. Probably didn't heat it up long enough. No, still got rattle. I need to use like you said, a toaster oven or a heat gun or something. But all it's going to take is just a little bit of this right here, squeeze, and it'll be fine. But yeah, this Voyage Blade Works, this thing is pretty hefty. The jimping is really slick. Like it doesn't, I don't care how hard you press your finger down, it's not going to stop you. So I wish that was more aggressive. Let me get a weight on it so y'all can tell when I say it's heavy that I mean it's heavy. 4.3 ounces, but it's a little 3-inch blade. I don't know, the balance feels good on it though, and it's USA made for $75, so I like the hollow grind on it. I like the blade shape. D2 blade steel. I like the fact that they didn't brand it with D2. They just put the Voyage logo on there. So that's cool. But yeah, this Bodacious is in titanium is super nice. I like the fact that they gave you the titanium deep carry clip. Yeah, I just put it on there because it came with it, Ed. I don't do lanyards, but it was just in the bag, so I attached it. But I do like the little bead, little titanium bead. So I'll grab me some paracord and redo that at some point. I don't even know. That's like, yeah, that's super cheap. But when you give somebody a knife and you throw in all these little so-called extras, they can't be real expensive. This patch costs more than the lanyard, I'm sure. Yeah, it's different if you spend $500, but for $75, I'm good with getting the titanium bead and being able to change it over to something else. I don't care about this little thing. I know you're messing with me, Ed. But yeah, I like the good screw. I'm glad I grabbed it. Good morning, folks. I did have a few links to show this morning. Yeah, it definitely needs a real lanyard. Let's see here. First off, I wanted to show what this guy said. He said he sold 80% of his collection so he could get one of the greatest knives ever made. And that is the Skiff Asylum with Fafnir Damasteel and black Damascus accents. And that is a very, very pretty knife. Those pivots, man, the pivot and the clip, that black looks really good. That Damascus pattern is clean. The whole knife is clean. But they're about $3,000, so I can see why he had to sell some knives to get it. Good morning, Fred. We just happen to be looking at knives of your caliber as you come in. You must have got summoned by the nice knife gods. Yeah, the Asylum is one of my grails too. I would take any of their knives. That thing is pretty. He said, this will be the knife in my pocket on my wedding day, as well as hopefully many days going forward. What's table price for one of these? Nearly $3,000. Yeah. Here's the other side. Yeah. Yeah, I just want a plain one. 1,200 would be, that's my grail price. Like, that's about what I think a grail knife should cost, about 1,200. And then next, Juful and Lemifshi. Juful is working on the Protean, so that'll be cool. Everybody in the comments here said that they didn't want a skeleton version, and I don't blame them because the original versions, the solid versions, look way better to me. But that's coming. Then this guy 3D printed some awesome sharpening jig and dust collector for his belt sander. So look how easy that would make sharpening knives on that thing now. Perfect little jig. It clamps right into his, where the table would normally, where the guard would normally go. And then he made a 3D printed dust collector that fits right around the belt and goes right into his shop vac tube and also clamps on. So I thought, since we've talked about 3D printing, I'd show some knife making instances of where 3D printing can come in handy. So that's pretty cool. And then this was cool laser Joker knife. They look like cat people. I don't know. They have whiskers. Are they cat? I don't know. That's pretty cool. They have like a cat vibe to their faces. That's Noble Custom Knives. Noble does some great stuff. And there's the guy that does their laser work. Pretty good too. Come on, internet. Why are you not loading up? Come on, Noble. Their website is not working this morning. This guy right here, though, does some awesome work for them. Here's the other side. Poker chips, dice. Yeah, he does some clean work. If you haven't checked him out, you should. There's a cool little lanyard. Or keychain, sorry. Handmade paracord bead by Noble. Paracord bead collection. That's an awesome collection. Yeah, I do need to start doing that, Ed. I totally agree. Some of these are awesome, though. Uh-huh. Look who's in the middle. Oh, that Ninja Turtle one's cool. All three of those Ninja Turtle ones are cool. Sure, Ed's got a bunch of these, but I'm sure he would like to have all of them. Oh, Toothless. Stitch. Joker ones. Might as well check them all out while we're here. Howard the Duck. Sorry. Yeah, that's super cool. Look, here's him making them with a look at the micro hand carving. Pretty cool. Yeah, he does some great work. Super cool work. Now that is a proper Edyard. Wow, look at that Slimer. Uh, oh, that spray paint can is awesome. That is super cool. Uh-oh. Boobies. Some of those Mosaic Damascus Crusader, man. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty wild too. I'm working on it, John. I've got an artist about to start helping me work on the pieces. So that'll be awesome. Y'all don't mind, double tap that screen or drop me a like. Help that algorithm. There's the crystal tie and dragon skin Damascus. Pretty wild stuff. That's pretty wild. How he got the dragon in there. Wow, that Aztec mask is super cool. Each one takes about 3 hours to finish. Sci-fi inspired. Punisher bead. I'm sure he's got a Deadpool one. Somebody said that in the chat, I believe. Nightmare Before Christmas. Or crystal tie. Yeah, I could look at this stuff for hours. Super cool. Oh, that reminds me. That knife right there reminds me. I'm going to do a member giveaway today. Episode 225. Yes, Nick. Nedge for real. I'm going to make a 3D printed model. And I'm going to use real knives and real knife scales from recognizable knives. I'm going to try to copy them over. And I don't know if you might not have ever seen this, but I made a preliminary kind of thought process on how to do that. And of course, this is nothing like what it will actually be. I mean, it's kind of like what it'll be, but so he'll be like an 18-inch posable figure where his hands will hold knives for photos. And instead of the scales and blades and stuff that are on him there, I'm going to try to get it designed where it's all recognizable knife scales and blades. Yeah, but he's going to be articulated where you can move his arms. And that was just a preliminary thought that I thought. Here's another one. But I want all the little linkage parts to be like pivot barrels from knives and clips from knives. So he's going to be made from all knife scales, clips, pivots, and blades. And I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm going to give that away. I'm going to do a members giveaway. Seeing that knife that we just looked at reminded me of it, Ed. I mean, it's almost as nice as that one. the one we're giving away is just about as nice as that one. So it's definitely a prize to be worthy to win. So I need to do a wheel. I'll do that at the end of this video, or close to the end, I guess. Aha, their website finally loaded up. So that crystal tie and dragon skin one is $3,000. That's about the same, pretty close to the same price that Christopher paid for that case knife yesterday. Handmade camping knives. Some art knives. Prince of Persia knife. See what else he's got here. There's a friction folder for $1,800. Medusa. Mantis. There's the puzzle piece one. Ishtar. Some more crystal tie ones for $31.20. Yeah, it's basically, the giveaway knife is basically as good as this one. Same caliber. Let's see. Look at a few more here. And with y'all's budget, these are like mid-price knives. These are nearly budget knives for y'all. Here's the Animal Series knives. Donnie Baker would like that knife. The wolf head knife. Wolves. Got a wolf. Y'all probably don't even know who Donnie Baker was. Can't believe he died. Swear to God, he did. All right, that's enough of nubile. Oh, well, that's the wrong term. Noble custom knives. FSD and FSD Mini will be completed and launched for sale in November. If the sales go well, we'll move on to producing Rook. So they're going to have the brown lock on both of those, looks like. And what is the Rook? Do we know what the Rook is? I've heard of it. I've seen it. I just can't think of what the Rook knife is. Aha. Surge. Yep, now I remember. Wolves. Waylon knows about the wolves. I swear to God, he does. Yeah, that's the one they're going to make. So in November, after the FSD and Mini FSD, they're going to move on and make a copy of the Rook. Not a fan of the Rook. It's an ugly knife. I know a lot of people that like Surge Hawk knives, but if you guys don't get the mechanism almost exactly like theirs, and it probably won't sell. All right then. This is the giveaway knife, by the way, that is going to the members. Look at that fine craftsmanship. One of y'all lucky members is going to win that thing. And it's just a pass around knife. It's just for the channel. I found it at the hotel. Ed put a clip on it. We're just going to pass it around. So, one of you lucky guys will win this thing. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want that thing? It may or may not have been used in some ceremonies. Just joking. The Rook is not an auto, Andrew. The Rook has a unique lock, though. It's as you can see, it's on one side, not on the other. And I'm sure they'll make a plain version of this. So it'll look more like, hopefully it'll look more like something like this. Because if I'd want to buy one, I'd want it to look like that. Not one of those crazy embossed, or even just one like that. But they won't do fat carbon because fat carbon to import over there costs them a ton. So I wouldn't even care if it was one like that, but yeah, right there. There we go. There's what we need. Yeah, I could deal with that. I mean, it's different. Yep, there's the Thai version again. So let's go look up how the Rook Surge Rook lock disassembly. Let me get some volume on here.
I never actually got around to doing a teardown video and showing off the mechanism on my Rook before I started messing with it. And since I got this one in, I figured I would take that opportunity before I start messing with it. So if you're not familiar with the Rook, this is Serge Panchenko's knife design that uses the Hawk Knives, Hawk Lock, and Hawk Toggle detent mechanism built into the backside here. This is actually a mashup of 2023 and 2024 Rook designs. This has the porthole scales similar to my personal one that Serge did in 2024 on the Rooks, but it has the pin backspacer and liners from the 2023 Rook. And then I still have to make it over to Serge's to pick up one of the new 24 Hawk Knives clips. So anyways, let's show you what's going on in here.
Yeah,
I probably won't bore you with a full
copy.
teardown. The
that
pivot's
pin backspacer?
just a bearing pivot. There's nothing too crazy going on there. But I can pop these scales off and show you how the detent mechanism and the lock actually function pretty easily. So, voila. That is the Hawk Knives toggle detent mechanism. See, there's a pin going through the blade that engages with this little widget here. As you pull the blade out, the little widget rocks this way, and what that does is engages with the little brass widget. I'm sure there's technical names for these, that is spring loaded. And what it's doing is it's camming over center between two positions. I want it to pop. We should be okay. It gives you a very nice, crisp detent with a little bit of springiness that almost kind of helps assist the blade open and helps it click back into place. It's really, really ingenious. Gavin gets mad kudos for coming up with that. So, if I pop the scale back on, wow, when I flip it over, manage dropping everything. Flip you around. There we are. Alright, now I can pull off the lock bar button. And then I can pull off the scale screw. And I can show you how the lock works. So, this is your lock bar. It's got this little compression spring down here. There's a pin coming up through the blade that has a little roller on it. There we are. You see that little roller? I believe that's probably a hardened sleeve. That comes around, pushes the lock bar down, and then the lock bar comes back up behind it, wedging that roller this way, which is wedging the stop pin here against the frame. So the stop pin and your
That's
pivot
awesome.
there are the 3 points.
I didn't know any of that, so I'm glad we watched this video.
Pull that back.
What a great video this guy did.
And it comes back around. What's nice about separating the lock and the detent like this is so that even if you're holding the lock in the released position, it will still drop shut and click into place and not inadvertently bounce on the close. Now, you may have noticed I was holding this spring in. When I started to draw it back, that spring wanted to bow and jump out.
Awesome example of both of those. So they will have to get that mechanism down pat. They wish to copy that. So that's pretty awesome. So this, by the way, is Juful, not Lemifshi. So they both have similar names, but this is Juful, not Lemifshi. All right. See if anything else cool pops up here on the old Reddit feed. If y'all aren't in the Reddit knife scene, you should be, because there's very valuable information here. Full DLC Umnumzan by Rek Knives. I didn't know he did reblades for the Zon. Oh, speaking of reblades, let me see. Our Mr. John in the channel is getting a, well, I thought there was a, yeah. He put a picture to his PM2 warranty that is being worked on at the moment in the Discord. And this is it. And it is looking great also. So there is it closed. And he's going to take the edge down flat like a true Warncliffe. So this guy on Etsy, I need to talk to him because I hope he knows. I hope y'all told him who I am and that we're sending him work and talking about him on my videos. But I really like the fact that he's listening to suggestions and is not like stuck in his ways and thinks he's got all the answers, because we all learn new stuff every day and we're all experimenting. So I really appreciate the fact that he's willing to work with you guys and get these down. TC posted his Aurora knife and tool truffles. And Mr. showed a cool video of him using some kind of iron remover X as an acid to get rid of stuff on a crystallized tie. Run! Wash them off! Yeah, that worked good. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Mister. No. It would not get it all off. It would work the same as the Wink and the multi-etch did. Because they did that with a torch. So they did that with a little pin torch, and it gets it super hot. And those thicker, darker lines are harder to come off. I had to bead blast them off to get them off of my knife. The crystallized part is done with pressure, and it's very hard to do crystallized titanium. You have to have a airtight, pressurized vessel, and it's not something you can do easily at home. Yeah, you can bead blast the tiger stripes off, or Zer blast it off, or whatever you want to do. But you can't just use an acid etchant. The problem is you could get it off with acid etchant, with acids, but like I said yesterday, the problem is when you take a knife like that that's had those hot lines drawn in it, all the rest of the knife will be getting pitted while you're trying to get those little lines off. So you would have to soak the part that's already gotten back to bare metal in order to get the lines off, and that's the problem. So it's not like it's not like just doing it with electricity. So yeah, that's what I did to this one. So this one was bead blasted. I mean, this one was tiger striped, and it was dark and everything. And I bead blasted it back to normal. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I bead blasted it back. I've got to go over it one more time. But this one had a full tiger stripe, like dark tiger stripe. In fact, you can still see. That's why I need to go over it a little bit more. You can still see some of the stripes right there. I didn't have my air pressure turned up enough. So I'm going to go hit that one more time. But yeah, when he sent me this is the one that I fixed that I evened out the front flipper. So it's a microjet that he took off this corner to make it a front flipper. So it's one of a kind now. Yeah, I don't know why people I think Ed likes the tiger stripe actually. Because he traded me. I traded my Bravo tiger stripe version for this plain one. And Ed wanted the tiger stripe. So a lot of people still like it. I got to get this sent back to him, so I got to finish bead blasting it and ano it today. All right. This reminds me a lot of the mini, this 395 reminds me a lot of that knife. I don't mind stripes like this. And this one is blue and purple, but this light doesn't do it justice. I think it's because of the yellow in this light. Let me see if I go all white. That's more of the color. Let me turn it down some now. Hold on. All right, let me go all yellow and see if that fixes it. Yeah, that's kind of more like what it's hard to get this light, so that's all yellow light, but it still doesn't make it look like it does here in person. And then here's all white. And then there's about halfway. That's half and half. Let me put this knife back up where it goes, and then I'll show you. Hold on. Let me get my new case over here. It's got a bunch of my random knives in it. And I'll show you the difference between what I did. Yeah, here's where I did my so this is a tiger striped Kubi, and this is how dark that mini jet was, a microjet. And then this is what I did to mine with multi-etch, and you can see I lightened it up a ton. And but it went from this to that. So I like it even better just like this than with the dark brown. I don't know, like this looks super cool. It looks like more like a zebra. Uh, and then let's see. This is what his knife looked like before he cut that notch out of it. I know you've seen them before, but here's a side by side. So you can see he cut that corner off to make it a front flipper. So, oh, speaking of which, this one, the jimping is so great and the action is so great, you can easily front flip it, even though it doesn't look like you can. That's another reason why I like this knife so much. You can front flip them too. Yeah, I really like this Bodacious. So I can front flip my my Shaman too, and it's got more of a place to do it. But the difference between the Shaman and the Bodacious is the blade shape. The Bodacious comes all the way back where the Shaman stops. But they're basically pretty much the same other than that. But yeah, getting this titanium Bodacious for that price is awesome. And I don't use my knives to care that it's probably 9 CR blade steel. I've always got my real Shaman if I want to use some real blade steel. But I had to buy this clip to put on mine. Whereas this one, I could have just taken it off and thrown it on there. Yeah, you'll like it, Waylon. Did you get the same pattern as me, or did you get the other pattern one? I can't remember what the difference is between these two patterns. It's got little colors down in those lines, though, like blue. So they anode the whole thing, and then they sanded off the flats and left the color down in those little lines. If any of y'all wants a real Mannix, I got one for sale. It's half serrated and half not, with the Meton Boss circuit board scales on it. Oh, thank you, Robin. Yeah, I bought these from the guy on Etsy with the DNA lasering titanium scales. So yeah, and I bought this one just for these scales. I'll give you a good deal on this knife though. And then I got my PM2. I can't get the stupid scales off of because of this strip pivot screw, or I would change those out. And then I got my, somewhere over here. Oh yeah, I've got my smock with the Zerk scales and a lightning anode clip that I did. And I don't see, well, that's not working great. I don't actually see my Para 3 right now. There's my smock. And then my Meton Boss Benchmade Osborne. Where in the heck is my Para 3? Aha. And then I got just the regular titanium Para 3. Yeah, I'm going to, Fred. I just haven't. At the time I got it, I didn't know all my other real Spydercos, these all four of these are real these are none of these are clones. Neither is this one. But I've got all these Spydercos, but I've got new scales on all those except for this one. I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, I'm going to drill it out and buy a new hardware set. I just got to find scales for it. Like I bought these titanium Meton Boss Osborne scales for $40, and they were in great shape. And then I put the Mandalorian clip on it. But I just got to find me a good set of scales for a PM2 for cheap, because I like paying $40 for stuff like that. I bought this smock with these scales. I bought this one with these scales, and I bought these scales separate. I think I got them for like $40 or $50 too. But I put deep carry clips on just about all of them. This one doesn't have one. This one doesn't have one. John, no. I've explained that a couple of times, because the bearings versus the washers. So the clones have bearings in them, and they're cut out in the blade. So the blade has a hole in it. So if you had a way to mill out the blades on the real blades, Ed, Spydercos are nice knives. Don't talk trash. I hated them for 15 years before I got one. I hated them. I hated the holes. I hated the hump on it. The hump drove me nuts. And then I finally got one and put my thumb up against it and felt it, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I went to open one with the round hole, and I was like, oh, okay. Now I see why. And the fact that they're on washers and super rugged even just adds to that. There are some knives that the clone scales will fit, like some Benchmades, like the mini the bug outs and the mini bug outs and the mini Osbornes, I believe, will work. So there are some. But that's also why this Bodacious is cool, because it doesn't have the hump. And that's why the Shaman is cool, because it doesn't have the hump. These two knives look like regular knives almost. They don't have that big crazy hump on them. But the Bodacious looks like a regular knife. Morning, Dwayne. Since we got a bunch of people in here, drop me a like if you don't mind. What else are we going to talk about today? What is going on in the knife world? You're gay if you like Spydercos. Anyway, I hope you gentlemen are having a good start to your Thursday mornings. Gotta put these knives, some of these knives back up. Good morning, Knives Are Life, by the way. If any of y'all have shortcuts and need the bigger spring, just let me know and I'll send them in an envelope to you. I bought 10 of them. Fred, I can do studs on knives. I can do blade holes too, but I don't want to. I'm not really the one to do that because I'll end up ruining a bunch of bits. I'll get it done perfect, but it would cost me more money in bits than it would to charge you to do it. But I can put thumb studs in pretty easy. Let me what are we looking at? Somebody said a couple things. William said something about some messages. Tommy, have a good day, sir. Check out the new Nano Cut. What is the Nano Cut, Nick? Nano Cut knife. Oh, yeah, the new Hawk. I saw that the other day. This little thing. It does look super cool. I'm sure a clone of one of those will be coming soon. Uh, I don't mind it. I think it's all right. I think it's, just like you said, we don't need to talk about the price because that's crazy. But the way he was just holding it, I don't know if y'all noticed how perfect that looked in his hand, but it did look super comfortable in both the regular grip and like right there. That 3 fingers behind it, 1 finger up there in the front. That does look very comfortable. And when to do precision work, like that grip right there, pencil grip, like looks like you could really get in and do some scalpel work. Like, so yeah, I think it's a crazy price, but cool idea. He always comes up with innovative locks. I mean, at the beginning of this video, they showed all the different locks, including the one we just looked at. Like, that's a cantilever design. It's crazy. But yeah, he definitely comes up with some cool locks. I'm thinking they'll probably clone it pretty quickly. So TC is in the process of making molds for his rosies. That's pretty cool. You can use some cast acrylic resins, or if you bought enough layered carbon fiber stuff, you can do that. That's pretty cool. I've got some mold making material. You ought to think about making silicone molds for them, TC. I've got a box of the silicone mold making stuff. I showed it on stream one day. It's part A and part B. William, have a good day at work, sir. Yeah, that's what TC is doing today, or at the moment. He's always into some kind of mod. That's a cool little knife. Yeah, I think that that site I've shown y'all a bunch of times is where I bought that mold making kit, that Amazon promo code site, myvipon.com. If y'all haven't checked that out and you buy stuff off Amazon, you're silly. Because you can save 50%, 60%. But if you type in silicone mold, let's see. Ice trays. They don't have any right now, but I believe I bought mine off of here. But you can use these promo codes and save all kinds of money. And if you're into electronics and Bluetooth and whatever, you can get some crazy good deals. I bought all kinds of little $9 earbuds that work great. And you can get all kinds of electronics. They even have like little tiny PCs, laptops, tablets, 40% off, 50, any kind of electronic stuff you need, keyboard, speakers, little mini vacs. But you just take the promo code and you hit get code, and then you hit copy here, and it takes you over to the Amazon page, and you add it to cart, and then paste the code, and you get it for $15 instead of $30. So this site is awesome to use. I bought all kinds of stuff in it. Here's a portable monitor for $50. I add on to for your laptop. But you can get some crazy good deals. They have mini PCs. I bought a couple of those off of there. Any kind of security cameras you want. Great site. So yeah, check it out if you haven't. Yeah, TC, this thing is clean, huh? I got to figure out how to open it right. I'm just surprised at how solid this thing is. Nick, the outline's fine. It's great, except for the fact that the sheath rattles. But all I got to do is heat it up and clamp it right here, and it'll stop. Just squeeze a little bit here. You could actually just put a screw in right down here, probably, and fix it. But I'd rather heat it up and just mold it a little better. Yeah, I think they'll be hard to find, TC, because I've been in the clone game for a while now, and I haven't seen one till the other day. I'm going to do the unboxing and review of this later today. I'm going to try to fix it before I do, so that they don't look bad. Oh, by the way, this one, Fred. He's talking about this one. The Tengu. The Maglock Tengu. No, it's a perfect clone of a Tengu. It's by Mercenary Knives. You ought to know better than no. I need to wipe. Let me wipe off the blade, TC. There you go. You ought to be able to pause the video and get a good one. Yeah, no problem, TC. We go look at, let's see. Yeah. That's not it. There it is. Come on. Load up. I don't know why the internet hangs sometimes. Thought there was a plain one somewhere. Ran across a plain one. Oh, maybe it's on his website. There's a military one. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, here we go. What's he? Okay, that's the. Let's see. Whoops. Yeah, guess like that one. Kind of. Clean knives. That that American. This one right here is awesome. I love that one. Alrighty. Yeah, this little leather thing I'm super impressed with. It'll be nice to have my Leatherman on me from time to time. I should get that little, the one I bought for this knife today. The Cavill slip. I need something for this knife because it doesn't have a clip. But this was a good purchase for $20. Leatherman, extra knife for a flashlight and a pen at all times. Clip only, so you can just throw it in your front pocket if you want to. Or it's got the belt clip and the clip, so you can put them both on a belt and go to work. Well, guys, let's do the drawing for the members for the giveaway. Let's go build a wheel. Wheel of names. Here was our last wheel. Oh, thank you, Waylon. Oh, send you one of the springs? All right, I got you. Let's see. New wheel. Advanced. Boom, 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 boom. How many members we got at the moment? Let's see. Da, 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 da. Memberships. Total members. Come on, internet. Active members. See your members. All right. We got, I'm going to go from the top to the bottom. This is just how they're listed on YouTube. First entry is Knives Are Life. Second entry is Blade Junkie Tommy. I believe that's how he spelled it. Next one is Grateful Dong. Nice. Grateful. Let me see. How does he spell it? Yep. Grateful Dong. Third one. Fourth one is Andrew B. Next one is TC Blades. Next one is Andy Miller. Next one is Mr. Mister. Whoops. Next one is Keep It Scale Stupid. Then we got Sever 7, Dan Stan EDC. Bandstand EDC, John Tagamori, Fuchs Doodle. Come on, Actroid computer. Is it Tago Mori? Tago Mori. Yes, Tago Mori. Add entry. Sorry, this is taking me a second. I'm not going to try to spell Fuchs Doozle the way he spells it. I mean, laid off Pete. Almost done. Ed Durbin, Waylon, and Scott. Ed Durbin, Waylon, and Scott. All right. I'm not going to mess around with the fancy wheel stuff and all that. We're just going to spin it. Ticking sound is good. After spin. Applause. Let's spin for 20 seconds. This never works. Let me shuffle it about 7 or 8, 9, 12, 13 times. Turn off advanced. Hide it. All right. Oh, Robin Dallum. All right. Thank you, Robin. Let me add you in. Sorry, I didn't see that. Add entry. Robin Dallum. Is that right? Dallum. All right. So, let me shuffle them again. Let me hide it. Members only. Here we go. Count of 3. See. What in the world?
3, 2, 1. Late Junkie Tommy, laid off Pete. Laid off Pete. Won again. That's pretty wild. Pretty lucky on the, whoops, I forgot to turn off the stupid sound.
Oh, Dallum? That. No, I was talking about the spelling. Y'all saw how many times I shuffled it. Let's shuffle it a few more times and see. Give me a second place in case Pete doesn't want it. No, I'm just kidding. But let's see. See if it's rigged. See if it goes back to Pete again. Mister. Nope. Definitely not rigged. The voice isn't still on, is it? So, Pete, here's what you won. You won the pass-around knife. That Mr. Ed has. He's going to send it to you. and then you get to keep it for a while, and you got to send it to the next person that wins. I found it at the hotel, and I sent it to Ed. Ed put a clip on it and sharpened it, and now you get to hang out with it for a little while. So it's really nothing special. It's just the channel knife. It's just going to be passed around. So you'll get some of Ed's cooties, you get some of my cooties, and the next person will get some of your cooties too. I work in the hospitality business, mister. Somebody left it in a room and it was in the lost and found, and I took it. Should everybody need to do a mod to it? Possibly. Maybe you can stone wash it or acid wash it. Sure, Pete. You can file one side of it down if you want to. I don't care. Not my knife no more. It's your knife. I guess get with Mr. Ed and I'll pay for shipping, or I'll just send Ed the money to cover the shipping. I'll buy the label. I'll figure it out. I'll get it to you, Pete. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna start winding this one down. Appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a great Thursday. We will, of course, do it again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. You won fair and square, Pete. There's no respinning. Are you crazy? I think you're a great person to do it because you don't mind doing a mod to it and passing it on. So I think you're a perfect person for it to go to. And maybe we'll do it every, I don't know, I started it on 225, so maybe we'll do it every 50 episodes from now on. So you get to hang onto it for a couple of months, and then it moves on to the next person. I think that sounds pretty cool. Oh, that's awesome, Sever. Yeah, y'all go to Sever's live stream today at 2. I'm not sure what time zone he's in. He might be in Central also. What's this y'all stuff? It's how people in the South talk. I don't know exactly what you're saying there. Yep, CST. All right. Anyway, y'all have a great Thursday. And we will see y'all tomorrow morning. Use guys. Is that better? Use guys? I'm going to say